I don't know what to say. Subaru x Emilia is now in full effect. I I did not see that coming. Did anyone besides me that was not spoiled or anything other than that see that coming? I'm so freaking happy right now. Like, I'm so genuinely freaking happy. Like, what a build-up. They may not be official, but like they're the closest thing to. I mean, if you don't want this, dodge this. And she most definitely did not dodge. She wanted every bit of that kiss. She wanted every bit of that person that's been there for her, that's sacrificed for her, as she was talking about openly. And, if anyone is confused by any kind of the argumenting or anything in this episode, just think about it. It's not that hard. It's the simple fact that sometimes you can't say what you feel unless you just get it the hell out. And sometimes you don't always. Sometimes every time you talk to someone you love and or express yourself, it doesn't come out necessarily nicely, but it comes out stern, and it comes out and it gets the point across for someone to truly understand. Sometimes it's hard for people to believe you really care about them, whenever that they haven't been cared about in the past. And wow, what a scene. Subaru going as far to let Emilia know, like, hey, there's a lot of times where you're just straight up useless. Like he said it. Like, if I'm not there, if Puck's not there, you just don't do anything. And that makes me mad. That's you being useless. That's you not doing anything. You're in too high of a position. You have too many important things you want to achieve to do nothing. You can't just mope around and feel sorry for yourself. And if anyone has the right to say that, it's Subaru. Subaru's been useless. Let's go back to episode 15. Let's go back to episode 18 when he was useless. Let's go back to 17. Let's go to all those things to where Subaru is useless. Let's go back to right now, present time, to where Subaru, in terms of physically, is still useless. He doesn't even have power physically. He doesn't even have power vocally. He is useless. But he does everything he can. And he does something, and that something allows for opportunity. I mean, what was it? Roswell said, as long as there's life, there is opportunity. As long as there's opportunity, there is hope. And that is what Subaru is and stands for. And that's the theme of his character. And that's what Emilia needs to do too. Emilia needed to mature the same way we saw Subaru mature in the first 2 seasons. That's what this has always been about. And it's so damn cool to see that all be displayed on the table. We looked at Emilia last episode, and we all kind of understood that, yeah, she needs to get through things just like Subaru does. But now we really got to see what that was and showcase this episode. You can give up. The past is the past. Subaru recognizes that. Subaru has many freaking paths, man. I'm trying not to say the F-bomb. But Subaru has many freaking paths, right? We've seen them all. He's faced them all. He's gone through them all. Emilia, this is your path. Quit worrying about your past. Your past is going to come to you, and it's going to change you in certain manners, and that's what her big thing was. What if it changes me? What if the past changes me? Are you still going to love me? Well, guess what? Look where Subaru is today, and look where he was back in episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has changed tremendously, and it's been for the better, because whenever you face your past and you face yourself, you progress. And that, I think I even needed that messaging, that theme today, because I think I am someone who we sometimes we change for the better. You can always take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And I could even say, maybe I've taken a step back, right? At recent times. I can say that, and I'll say it on camera because that's okay. Because it's okay for you, the person watching this video, me, the person talking into this mic, to admit your flaws, admit when you've been useless sometimes. Because if you don't admit it, that means you probably don't really fully acknowledge it. I mean, what an awesome scene. ReZero is not a romance. It's not. It's not a romance at all. But yet it shits on 99.9% of romances, man. Like, this show is showing you how it's done. I mean, from a character that was really loving Emilia and expressing his love, but also being opportunistic about trying to get her to love him in season 1, to this character that's understanding his own self-worth and self-love in season 2, and then someone to understand, like, if you love someone, you be there for them, not just because you want an opportunity for them to understand that you love them per se. I mean, sure you do. I mean, like he said, I do all this because I want you to know I really do care about you, and that's fine, but don't make it an opportunistic thing. Make sure it's not greedy. I mean, and if it is, make sure it's in the right way. It's with integrity. It's with, it's with something it's with respect to that person, not respect just to your own self-gratification. And that's what Subaru has done and transformed into. Once he was 100% genuine, that's whenever he took that next step. This is awesome. This is how it's freaking done, man. This is how you write a show. This is how you write a fantasy, a drama, a psychological, an adventure. This is how you write a romance. Wow. What an episode. How, a lot of times, it's amazing because this show, from a writing standpoint, people always say, like, things are subjective. But, like, this show, it has it all. I don't even care if someone disagrees because they're wrong and they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, it has everything. It just covers everything. It relates to everything. If you like fantasy, here you go. If you like romance, here you go. If you like psychological, here you go. If you want something dramatic, if you want something that's an adventure, it literally covers everything so well and blends it all into one. This is the epitome of what anime can be all about. I mean, this show is an instant classic. Gosh, damn. And not even all the questions have been answered. The show is still going so far. I don't even have my notes because screw them. I don't need them. And this wasn't even, we haven't gotten to Otto's part, which is, of course, great. His characterization's awesome. He's been a character that's been coming along. We've all been liking him these first 2 episodes of season 2, part 2. Amazing. Amazing, man. Freaking amazing. Like, this show is just building all these side characters, building all these main characters up, and it's just doing it so freaking effortlessly, smoothly. I mean, it's just so smooth, man. The show's been, the foundation of the characters and the way they've been worked into together is so good by Taipei Nagasaki that he doesn't even have to try. The story is almost writing itself. It's almost easy to say, this is what these characters should do, maybe. But he's so good. He's thought so far ahead. He's understood people so well. You can tell he's really thought about his real life ventures and molded them into these feelings and emotions through these characters. Like, wow. What an awesome, this is just so good. Like, man. Oh, gosh. I mean, the whole argument about I love you, telling her all these things, then why'd you leave? And he says, I can't tell you that. We still want to know why Subaru left her, but her bedside, that is. So that's going to be interesting. But nonetheless, it's something that he just couldn't say, he said, and she accepted that because she trusts him. Nonetheless, and that was hard, but it was the only way he could really showcase how he felt about her was through physical touch, right? And that was that kiss. Gosh. I didn't know what to do with the thumbnail, so I didn't want to spoil it. I just could not. Some people may have not seen the video episode yet, and I know some people are going back to school, so they may not have the time to see the episode. If this was like 8 o'clock or something at night, I would have put the thumbnail up. Like, you need to watch this show before then. It's too good not to watch. Like, if you're not watching ReZero the day of, and as soon as you get time to, that's the first freaking thing you should be doing. Like, you're messed up. You can't be a fan and not, like, lust for each, weekly episode drop. Oh, my gosh. That's how you write a story. This is the best story I've ever seen in live action. It's just not close at this point. Wow. Really, really good stuff. I mean, that's, like, I've probably watched like 4 romantic series that are just straight up romances and that are really good, that I have the utmost respect for, like in Bunny Girl Senpai, and we have Snafu, and I'm watching a couple new ones right now. But this show is awesome. Like, what a representation. Like, it's built up to it. We've seen the person struggle for it, and through like some of the gruesome aspects of the show, in the struggle, it allowed us to see how far Subaru would go through each rewind, right? Through each time, not necessarily time loop, but checkpoint, reset, restart, whatever you want to refer to it as. We've gotten to see, and because we've gotten to see how far he'll go, not even other romances can really demonstrate how far that they can go. Like they can't do it like ReZero does, because it has a mechanism to where this dude's sacrificing himself for this girl over and over and over and over and over again. It allows us to see how far he'll freaking go. And that's just so dang good. How am I not out of breath yet? I'm sorry if I was talking too fast. Rewind the video and watch it again, because I can't help it. Like, what? Man. Thoughts, please. Please, comments. I don't even care if you like the video, just comment. Give me something to see. I want to see other perspectives. And this show, Instant Classic, is right in front of my very eyes. Gosh. And I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes when you love someone, you have to be hard with them. Like, he called Emilia useless. Would Subaru have ever done that before? No. He would have simped, right? But he called her useless and let her know that, yeah, you are useless at times. You don't do anything. You give up. You just fold. You just armadillo and turtle in the shell. And yeah, if you love someone, you're going to be mean sometimes. But that you being mean to them is coming from a genuine place. And as long as it's real and you're telling them how it is, who gives a damn? Because it's you loving them, because you're being real with them. You lying to them and being comforting over them and not just calling them out on the BS, that's not loving someone. That's what I call bullshit. That's not real. I mean, it's hard sometimes, but as long as you can eventually say what's on your mind and say the truth, and not just say a truth that is selfish and one-sided perspective, like just tell them how it is truthfully, then that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. It's genuine. It doesn't matter at that point how it comes out. As long as it's real, as long as it's truthful, as long as it's how you truly, truly believe, and that's truly, truly your perspective, then that's okay. But you better make sure it's not arrogant. You better make sure there's a lot of integrity in that statement and make sure it's real. Like, it's not one-sided. And that's what Subaru did today. What an awesome episode. What an awesome scene. How is it possible ReZero, I can think of like 5 scenes off the top of my head that are just dialogue that are just better than 90% of episodes I've seen in anime. I mean, I go back to episode, I believe it was 12 or 13, wherever Emilia and Subaru got in their first argument. Think about how that argument went compared to this. Great scene of dialogue. I think back about episode 18. Phenomenal scene of dialogue. 15 with Betelgeuse, before I skip over it. Just these special shows. These are, guys, it's only 40 episodes out. You're not supposed to have S-tier episodes that often. It's one thing to have an A-plus episode and a great episode, but these are special. These are iconic episodes that people won't ever forget. They'll be 40 and still think about, remember when I watched that show? Holy shit. But I mean, once again, even episode 6, whenever he's talking to Rim, awesome episode. Once again, I'll go back over him. 13, 15, 18. We also have another episode with Subaru's parents. That was season 2. Well, I'm not sure what episode, but that's like 6 scenes. We have another episode with Roswell, had an awesome dialogue scene. There's like 7 scenes. We have this episode. These are just dialogue scenes, guys. And that's out of 40 episodes. Just special, iconic scenes. That's crazy. That's tough. That's wow. So, other than that, though, let's talk about Otto. I can't say anything more than other stuff. Awesome. Looking at other things, though, looking at Otto and getting his past and his characterization. It's really cool seeing that he actually has special language, right? What is it? Soul language. He can talk to animals, and it's divine protection. He was gifted a power from the gods, per se, right? And from the world itself. That's crazy to think that Otto has such a power, and it's cool to see Otto. When the music was dropping, that old OST, and he's running from Garf, and all the fighting's going on, and all this madness is happening, and the explosions are going off. What an awesome scene! I'm so hyped. And wherever we got to see him became a merchant because he got exiled from his old place because he told the most powerful girl in the whole town, basically, because her father and family status, they ran her out that basically she was messing around with 8 dudes instead of just one. Well, guess what? He got punched, deemed as a liar, and he got pushed out of town, right? Forced out of town because he has such special power. And that was why his brother said, yay, you got to be careful, though, because people will look at you different. And whenever he made the mistake trying to show to his little brother that he did have such a power and that he wasn't lying to his friends, we saw a bunch of bugs ran amok, right? And it put a tag on him. It put a certain perspective on him. And, of course, they used and abused that perspective and ran him out of town. So that was all cool. I love what Otto's willing to sacrifice. I love how we saw him ran into Betelgeuse, and Subaru technically had Otto saved because he knew the witch's cult was he's going to run into them, of course, due to his resets, right? His checkpoints. It's all just put together so well, and that context adds so much. It adds a lot to the character. It gets perspective why Otto cares about Subaru so deeply and why he's truly views him as a friend. And Subaru just failed to realize that, probably till recently. Towards the end of last season, or literally the last episode, whenever Subaru just needed a friend. Until now, when Subaru needed a friend. So there's it's just so well put together. ReZero special. It's one of a kind. It's its own thing. It shits on 99% of fantasies. It shits on 95% of romances. And not shout out to the romances that aren't part of that 99% and the fantasies that aren't part of 99%. You guys deserve credit because you're great in your own right. But this show is iconic, and this show will be a show that will always be recommended for someone to watch. And for the people that say no, it's shit, don't watch it, there's always gonna be 10 times more people that say don't listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So other than that, though, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy getting some seasonals. I have another Horimiya. I have that done, ready, uploaded. I need to add some tags and a thumbnail, and we'll be good to go on that series as well. But as always, guys, you guys have been Hex. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me to Rex25, and I'll see you next week for sure. Absolutely, for ReZero, Season 2, Part 2, Episode 41.